Today we are come up with one more interesting topic on aptitude section, that is profit and loss discounts. So this profit and loss we regularly see in our daily life, but some may feel that it is a difficult thing to understand the real life scenario. And in order to understand this concept, we consider an example problem, a live example problem to understand the concept. And this topic is very much helpful in and very much helpful why because very much we can get expect questions from this topic, like one or two questions in every exam or any competitive exams like SSC, railways, state government examinations. And if you are preparing for placement exams also, you will get questions from this topic. You need to learn the concept of profit and loss concept. For that you need to know the basics regarding the concept of profit and loss. If you understand the basics of profit and loss only, you will be able to solve the problems of profit and loss which were asked in the examination. So in order to better understanding of the concept, let us consider a scenario here. Let us consider a scenario. Let us consider that imagine that you and your friends are decided to set up a lemonade shop. Whatever it, you and your friends decided to a lemonade shop. So during this summer vacation, to earn some extra money, what happened here is you and your friends decided to establish a lemonade shop during the summer in order to gain some extra money. And what you do is you plan to sell some refreshing lemonade to the customers in your surroundings. And let us explore how profit how profit and loss concept. Let us explore how profit and loss concept apply to your lemonade shop apply to your lemonade shop. Let us consider the steps in this in the setting up of this lemonade shop here. First step is you need to setting up the shop here. After setting up the shop, you start you start by purchasing some requirements here. You need to start purchasing ingredients here. You need to purchase ingredients such as lemons, sugar, cups, and ice from your local shop or from local store here. And suppose what I said, you need to first set up the shop here. After setting up the shop here, you need to start purchasing of ingredients like lemons, sugar, cups, and ice from your local store. So this is the initial investment. This is we call it as initial investment. This represents by the cost price of an item. Cost price. So in our problems, we denoted that as CP. So first you have an idea to set up a lemonade shop during the summer in order to get some profits, and you plan to sell refreshing lemonade to the customers. And in this scenario, you need to analyze how profit and loss concepts are applied to your lemonade shop here. So first step here is you need to set up the shop here. After setting up the shop here, you need to purchase some ingredients here like lemons, sugar, cups, and ice from your local shop. So here you spend some money here. You spend some money here. So that money we call it as initial investment. And if we precisely speaking in terms of profit and loss, we call this investment or in the amount which we spend on the purchasing ingredients, we call it as a cost price of an item. Next, now the next step is let us consider the next step here. The second step here is you need to sell the lemonade here. You need to sell the lemonade here. Once the first, suppose on the first day, on the first day, on the first day, let us assume that you set up the shop and start selling the lemonade. Start selling the lemonade here at certain price here. Suppose let us assume the price will be rupees 10 rupees per cup here, 10 rupees per cup here, and the price will be the lemonade price will be 10 rupees per cup here, and this price we call it as the selling price. This price we call it this 10 rupees per cup we call it as a selling price here, and the ingredients we purchase that we call it as a cost price that we discussed in the previous slide. And throughout the day, throughout this first day, you let us assume various number of customers come to your shop and buy lemonade, and some may buy multiple cups and while others buy just one cup only. So next, after selling the lemonades here, then the next step is you need to calculate the profit and loss here. So at the end of the day, at the end of day, you sell or you count some money here. You count the money you have earned from selling lemonade here. So this total revenue represents your sales here. This total represents, so this total revenue sales represents your sales here. You need to compare your revenue, that is, so how you compare your revenue here means revenue will be equals to selling price into number of cups sold, number of cups sold here. So if we can multiply these values, you will get the revenue. And after getting the revenue, you need to compare this revenue with the cost price of an item, and you need to get the difference of amount here. So you compare the revenue, selling price into number of cups sold with your initial investment cost price. And if your revenue is more than your investment, then you will definitely get the profits here. And if your investment is greater but you're getting some losses here, in that case you may have incurred loss here. Suppose if your investment is greater, and if in this case in the investment is more when compared with the profits, then you get profits. And if your investments and the amount revenue get less, you get definitely get the losses here. Next, we need to analyze the performance here. We need to analyze the performance here. Let us try to analyze the performance here. And the fourth point is we need to analyze the performance here. We need to analyze the performance here. So over the course of week, you track your daily sales and expenses. You notice that on some day you sell more lemonade and makes higher profits, while on the other sales are slower, resulting in a smaller profit or even loss. You start analyzing the factors that contribute to the fluctuations in sales, such as weather conditions, location of the shop, price strategies, and customer preferences. So these are all the performance you are analyzed here. After analyzing the performance conditions, next what you need to do is you need to offer some discounts here. You need to offer discounts here in order to increase your sales here. To attract more number of customers, what you decided is you decided to offer a discount on the hot days or during peak hours, and then you calculate the discounted price and adjust your selling strategies accordingly. So after that, what you need to calculate the percentage profit and loss here. So at the end of the summer, you calculate the overall profit or loss percentage by comparing your total revenue with your total investment. This helps you to evaluate the success of your lemonade shop venture and plan for future business endeavors. So by this scenario, what you need to understand is, are the students, you can visualize how profit and loss concepts apply in practical setting and understand their significance in entrepreneurial ventures. Additionally, you can also relate to the challenges, decisions involved in running a small business, making the learning experience more relatable and engaging. So this was a basic introduction about the introduction part on by considering a lemonade or practical example problem here. Now we try to see, we came across the concepts of like what terminology like cost price, the selling price here, and the revenue here, profit here, loss here. So these are all the terminology we have encountered in this particular scenario here. Now let us try to see some more details regarding this one here. So here if we get a profit here, if we get a profit, how we get profit? If we get if you subtract selling price with the cost price, then you definitely get the profits here. So while suppose if you are getting a profits, means what it exactly means, the selling price must be greater than the cost price of an item. The selling price must be greater than the cost price of an item. Next, if you are encountering a loss here, if you are encountering a loss here, then the cost, then you need to subtract the cost price minus selling price. Why? Because in this last case, cost price is greater when compared with the selling price here. Next, how to calculate the profit percentage? For profit percentage will be equals to profit divided by the cost price. Whether the profit percentage or loss percentage, it is always dependent on the cost price of an item. It is always dependent on the cost price of an item. And these are some formulas which are derived from these two formulas only. Suppose if we want to get the selling price in case of profit percentage, and also in order to get the selling price in terms of loss percentage, and cost price in terms of loss percentage, in terms of profit percentage, there are all the different formulas which we derive from this formula. So the only thing you need to remember is a profit is equals to selling price minus a cost price, and the profit percentage will be equals to profit divided by cost price into 100. So this is regarding profit. And loss will be equals to cost price minus selling price, and the percentage loss will be equals to loss divided by cost price into 100. So these are the two formulas you need to remember on profit and loss in order to solve your problems here. Next, without remembering the formulas also, we will be able to solve the problems. And that while discussing the problem, let us try to analyze the multiple ways of solving and getting the answers in an easy manner that we cover in the problematic part here. After this, we need to know some key points here, and in order to understand that key point here, let us consider a scenario here. So let us consider a concept here. Here the selling. Let us consider the cost price of an. Let us assume a bottle. Let us consider the cost price of a bottle for a manufacturer. For a manufacturer is 400 rupees, and that manufacturer is selling it to the customers at a price of 500 rupees. So in this you will get a, what is the manufacturer cost price is only 400 rupees, but in order to gain some profit here, he is selling that to the customers for 500 rupees. In this scenario, you'll get a profit of 100 rupees. Now what I told, profit will be equals to selling price minus cost price. So here selling price must be greater than the cost price of an item if you are getting a profit here. Next, you need to calculate the profit percentage here. So what is the profit percentage formula? Profit divided by the cost price into 100. What is the profit we are getting here? Means we are getting a profit of 100 rupees out of 400 rupees. So the total profit percentage we are getting it as a 25 percentage. And let us consider one more scenario here. Now, let us assume the same example. Let us consider a bottle manufacturer here. And bottle manufacturer, what does is in that particular sales are very less. Sales are very less, and when the sales are very less, the manufacturer what does means he gave some discount here. He gave some discount here to the customers here, and sell that it to the customers for only 360 rupees. And in this scenario, the manufacturers know that he will definitely get the loss here. Why? Because the manufacturer cost here it is 400, but he is selling that it to the customers for only 360 rupees. In this scenario, the manufacturer will lose 40 rupees. Now we need to calculate what is the loss percentage here. So loss percentage will be equals to loss divided by the cost price, 40 divided by 400, that will give us a 10 percentage loss here. So in this scenario, the manufacturer will lose a 10 percentage here, and in the first scenario the manufacturer gains a 25 percentage profit here. 25 percentage profit here. Now these two scenarios, let us try to solve in a simple manner by using the ratios concept here. So we use ratios concept to use solve most of the problems here. So the first scenario here is, here the cost price and selling price. Here the cost price he gave as 400 and the selling price was 500. And if we in terms of ratios concept, what you need to do, you need to eliminate the common numbers present in the given numbers. So if we eliminate the common numbers, two zeros here, it will become 4 ratio 5. So initially the cost price was 4 parts and later it was sold for 5 parts. So what is the gap here? The gap here it is 1 part. That 1 part we call it as a profit. So we are getting plus 1 part here, plus 1 part here, 1 part of 5. So here we are getting a profit of 1 part out of 4 parts of initial cost price here. That is 4 parts. If we, what is 1 by 4? 1 by 4 is nothing but in percentages we called that one is convert into one into 25%. And let us consider the second scenario here. Here the cost price we are at, assume it as 400, and now the seller or the manufacturer is selling that one for only 360 rupees. And if you eliminate the common numbers present here, so at 0 and 0 eliminated, 4 tens get cancelled and 4 nines get cancelled here, and the ratio will get as a 10 ratio 9. And in this scenario the manufacturer is losing one part out of 10 parts here, so minus 1 divided by 10, that will give 1 minus 1 minus 1 by 10, nothing but a 10 percentage loss. Here minus symbol indicates the loss here, and here the positive symbol indicates the profit here. I hope you are clear with this explanation regarding the profit, how the profits are occurred and how the losses are occurred. And in order to solve this particular problem with the ratios concept, you need to remember some factors here and their percentage values here. So this concept we already covered in the percentages topic, and if we remember, if we know the concept of percentage topic, you will be able to solve this profit and loss in an easy manner here. And if you know the ratios also, then you will be able to. So the concepts of percentages and ratios will help us in solving the problems of profit and loss concept here. So try to remember these these percentage values in order to solve the problems in an examinations in an easy manner. So these are there are some tricks also, that those tricks and how to remember those values we already clearly explained in the percentages topic. If anyone has missed those videos, try to watch that video and come to this topic. You will definitely easily understand the concept of profit and loss. Consider the first model here. So what the first model on profit and loss here is, the first model is basically on like selling price, cost price, profit and loss. Among these four values, any two quantities will be given. Either selling price will be given or cost price will be given, or either profit or loss will be given, or any of these among these four quantities, any two quantities will be given, and ask us to find the remaining given. Suppose if it is of a profit scenario, in the profit scenario what we'll get the selling price and cost price. Sometimes he may mention the percentage profit and selling price, and he asks us to find the cost price here. And sometimes he'll mention the profit and the cost price here, and he asks us to find the selling price here. And in terms of loss scenario, percentage loss will be equals to, in this also we are getting cost price and selling price here. In this he will give loss percentage and cost price, and he asks us to find the selling price. Or he may give the loss percentage or the selling price here, and he asks us to find this cost price here. So these are the different scenario. There are multiple ways in getting the answers here. So let us try to see a few questions in this sessions to understand the how to solve this model of problem in an easy manner. If you are solving questions in the examinations here. Okay, here is the first question. What is the first question is, Nishal bought an article for 400 rupees and sold it for 600 rupees. Then find the loss or profit percentage. This is a very basic question on profit and loss here. Suppose if we may mention in the question, bought means that it was considered as a cost price, and sold means that was considered as a selling price here. So what is the cost price he has given here? Cost price he has given it as rupees 400 rupees. And what is the selling price he has given? Selling price he has given it as a 400 and 600 rupees. What is the profit formula? We know here profit will be equals to selling price minus cost price. So that will be equals to 600 minus 400, that will be equals to 200. So the profit we are getting here it is 200 here. Sir, why you are considering directly profit why we have not considered loss here? In the question there is also loss also present here. So in the concept introduction part, concept while explaining the concept here, I have told you that when SP is greater when the selling price is greater than the cost price, then you definitely get the profit here. Then you definitely get the profit here. Or if cost price is greater than the selling price, then you definitely get the loss here. So this basic point I already covered in the introduction part. If anyone have missed that part, let us try to watch that video first and come to this video. Why? Because in order to understand the concept clearly and in order to solve the problems in an easy manner, you need to know the basic concept on profit and loss. Okay, now what you need to, you need to solve the percentage profit here. What is the percentage profit will be equals to, what is the formula? Profit divided by cost price into 100. So what is the profit I am getting here? I am getting a profit of 200 here. And what is my cost price here? So my cost price will be here 400 into 100. And if I simplify this, zeros and zeros get cancelled, two ones and two twos get cancelled. Here I am getting, so two ones and two fifties get cancelled. So here I'm getting a profit percentage of 50 percentage. So here I'm getting a profit of 50 percentage in this one. So this is, if we go with the formula approach here. If we go with the formula approach, see how many steps I have written in order to get the answer for this particular problem. But this is a very basic problem, but I am spending a lot of time in solving this problem. Now I try to solve this one by using the ratio approach here. I will try to solve the ratio approach. So in the ratio approach, I'll consider cost price here and I'll consider the selling price here. So what is the cost price given in the question? Cost price he gave it as 400 and the selling price he gave it as 600. So in the ratio approach, what I told, so in the ratio approach, we need to eliminate the common numbers present in the given numbers. So here two zeros and two zeros are common, and twos and two threes get cancelled. So with the cost price to selling price ratio, I'm getting it as a 2 ratio 3. So here there is an increase of one part. Now, what is the profit formula? Profit formula is nothing but a profit. Here I'm getting a profit of 1 out of 2. Here this 1 by 2 is nothing but 50 percentage. Sir, why? How you got this 1 by 2 as 50 percentage value? So that point I already covered in the introduction part. We need to percentages value. You need to remember in order to solve by using ratios approach. You need to remember the percentage values. If you remember the percentage values, you can easily solve this question in an easy manner. So what is 1 by 2, what is 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 6, 1 by 9. So these are all the values that you need to remember in order to get the answers in an easy manner. So this is by using the formula approach. So whether you, if you go with the formula approach or whether you go with the concept or the ratio approach, you will get the same answer, that is 50 percentage will be the profit on this particular item. I hope you are clear with this explanation. Let us go for one more question on profit and loss based on model 1 here. Okay, here is another question. So what is this question here is, a girl bought an article. So bought means we need to consider this one as a cost price here. So that was a 600 rupees. So what is the cost price given in the question? Cost price given in the question is 600 rupees. And sold. Sold means cost selling price here. Though the selling price gave it as a 400 rupees. Then what is, find her loss percentage? In the question he directly mentioned that find the loss percentage. Why is mentioning the loss percentage? That here cost price is greater than the selling price. I already told that when cost price is greater than the selling price, then you definitely get the loss in the transaction here. So what is the loss here? Loss will be equals to cost price minus the selling price. That will be equals to 600 and minus 400. That will be equals to 200 here. So here I am getting a loss of 200 here. So what is the percentage loss here? Loss divided by the cost price into 100. That will be equals to 200 divided by cost price, that is 600 into 100. So these two zeros get cancelled, two ones and two threes get cancelled. We'll get 100 and divided by 3. 100 and divided by 3, nothing but 33 1 by 3 percentage loss here. 33 1 by 3 percentage loss, that is presented in option B. So this is by using the formula approach. But if you go with the ratio approach, so what is, we need to take the cost price and selling price ratio here. So cost price we gave it as 600 here and the selling price we gave it as 400 here. And if you eliminate the common numbers present here, it will become 3 ratio 2. Initially, the cost price was 3 parts, but he sold that one only for 2 parts. So in this, he got a loss of one part. Out of the got a loss of one part out of 3 parts. So this 1/3 is nothing but 33 1/3. And some may got doubt here, sir, why we are considering a negative symbol here? So this negative symbol indicates that in the transaction he is getting a loss here. So in the if we go with the ratio approach or if we go with the formula approach, in both scenarios you get the same answer here. I hope you are clear with this explanation, and let us move to the next question here. And here is the next question. A man bought an old typewriter for 1200 rupees. So this is the cost price. So a man bought a old typewriter, cost price was 1200 rupees, let us assume, and he spent 200 rupees on this repair. So he only bought it for only 12, but on this typewriter he spent 200 rupees extra. And what is the overall cost price here? The overall cost price for him was why? Because cost price he spent this much of amount on this typewriter here. Next, he sold it for, okay, he sold it for this considered as selling price here. He sold it for 1680 rupees. So whether he got profit or loss, so in the question he directly mentioned that profit percentage. So profit will be equals to selling price minus cost price. So what is the selling price here? 1680 minus the cost price, that is 1400. That will be equals to what is the profit is getting here? The profit is getting it is 280 rupees. Next we need to calculate the profit percentage here. Profit percentage will be equals to profit divided by cost price into 100. So what is the profit you are getting? 280 out of cost price, that is 1400 into 100. And if we eliminate the common number 0 0 and this 0 0 eliminated. So if we cancel with the 7 twos and 7 threes get cancelled, 3 ones and 3 fives get cancelled, and 3 into 5 is nothing. Okay, let me see the things again here. 0 0 and 0 get cancelled here, and 7 twos and 7 fours here, and 4 into 5 is nothing but 4 into 5 is nothing but 20 percentage. So the profit is getting in the transaction will be 20%. Okay, let us also go with the ratio approach here. Ratio approach here. Why I am solving all the problems with the ratio approach? With the ratio approach, you will easily get the answer without wasting much effort here. So he first he spent 1200 rupees, and after that he spent 200 rupees more here, and then he is selling that one for 1680 rupees. So the overall cost price will be 1400, and he is selling it for 1680 rupees. And this 0 0 get eliminated, and if we cancel with the common number, let us try to cancel by using 7 double. 7 twos and 0, and 7 twos 14, and 2 will be the remainder, and 7 fours get cancelled, and this will also get cancelled here with the 2 table. 2 tens and 2 ones and 2 twelves get cancelled, and if we in this also we are getting the common number, that is like we can also cancel directly with the 4 table here. 4 fives and 4 6 get cancelled here. So initially cost price was 5 parts, and later he is selling it for 6 parts. In this he got a profit of 1 part out of 5 parts. So this 1 by 5 is nothing but how much means? So this 1 by 5 nothing but a 20 percentage. I hope you are clear with this explanation. And similarly, you try to solve this particular problem. You try to solve this particular problem and give your answers in the comment section. What is this question is? Find the cost price. We need to find the cost price here, and he gave selling price as 70,150, and the last percentage he gave it as 23.33. Try to solve this particular question, and I'll try to explain in the next session by considering this example. And if you get the answers, try to post your answers in the comment section, so that we will be able to know whether you are getting the answers or not. Have a good day. We'll meet in the next session with one more interesting point on profit and loss topic. Thank you.